We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some huge news and speculation regarding The Fiend Bray Wyatt, who, as most of you are well aware, was sadly and unfortunately fired from WWE back in July of 2021, or at least so we thought. Now, even at the time of Bray Wyatt's release from WWE, unlike all the other WWE firings this year, Bray's release had a few things about it that just seemed off, with one aspect being that WWE put the kayfabe name Bray Wyatt on the official release statement instead of Bray's actual name Wyndham Rotunda, and many fans felt like Bray's firing from WWE could have been a work, or at the very least, not the same as the other firings from this year, and that in the future Bray Wyatt would be brought back to the WWE. Not surprisingly, the speculation has continued on to this day, and it is really beginning to ramp up again this past week or so, because while a lot of wrestling insiders were certain that Bray Wyatt would be signing and joining up with AEW All Elite Wrestling once his non-compete clause with WWE ran up, that has not happened, with AEW President Tony Khan making it fully clear that while he does view Bray Wyatt, aka Wyndham Rotunda, as a very talented performer, there have been no talks of Bray coming over to AEW yet. And as some of you are likely aware, instead it was revealed just this month in November 2021 that Bray Wyatt's next move is going to be a horror movie or film, and nothing related to wrestling. Now, where this new speculation of The Fiend Bray Wyatt possibly coming back to WWE in the relatively near future, most likely sometime next year in 2022, is that considering Bray Wyatt has not signed with AEW or Impact Wrestling yet and is instead focusing his time on an upcoming horror movie, along with the fact that there were so many weird aspects of Bray's release from WWE to begin with, lots are speculating that WWE could have decided to release Bray Wyatt back in July of 2021, but made it clear to Bray Wyatt that when he was ready to come back to the ring, the doors to WWE would be open, because as some of you are likely aware, prior to Bray Wyatt's release from the company, Bray had been taken off of WWE television shortly following WrestleMania 37 for personal, health-related reasons. And the speculation right now is that Bray Wyatt made it clear to Vince McMahon and WWE that he needed a prolonged break from wrestling and would not be ready to come back anytime soon, and that this supposed release from WWE gave Bray Wyatt some time to get better and work on some of the issues he was dealing with, without Bray having a timeline for when he was needed to return to WWE, and that following this upcoming movie project that Bray Wyatt is currently working on, a WWE return could be in the works, because again, aside from all the other bizarre aspects of Bray Wyatt's release from WWE that simply did not make any sense, at the end of the day, besides perhaps Roman Reigns, The Fiend Bray Wyatt was arguably the WWE's top merchandise seller and one of the company's biggest and most important full-time talents. And even with the way things have been going in WWE lately, and Vince McMahon clearly making some poor decisions lately as well, even at this stage, Vince is not that out of touch that he could not realize Bray Wyatt's star power and benefit to the company overall. And one of our sources has mentioned that as of right now, while this is all speculation, one source made it clear that they believe there's almost an equal 50-50 chance that when Bray Wyatt does return to wrestling, it could just as easily be a WWE return next year than a debut in AEW. But as of right now, both options are about a 50% chance of happening, and let's say Bray Wyatt did return to WWE, it's actually very possible that he could be brought back to the company along with Alexa Bliss around the same time. So WWE could continue with that storyline that was not even finished up properly following WrestleMania 37, because at the time Alexa Bliss was basically forced to move away from Bray Wyatt when things were just really getting started in that storyline, after Alexa Bliss had betrayed and turned on Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. And as most of you are likely aware, Alexa Bliss has been gone from WWE television as well, and there is speculation that one of the reasons for Alexa Bliss being taken off of television is because Vince does not want Alexa Bliss portraying her Fiend-like gimmick on television while Bray Wyatt is away from the company, because it just does not make any sense, and that Alexa could be kept off of television until Bray Wyatt returns. With all of this being said, it is just speculation right now, but the possibility of The Fiend Bray Wyatt coming back to WWE is still a very real scenario that could happen. Again, if it did happen, likely sometime next year in 2022. And in your honest opinion, should Bray Wyatt come back to WWE, or should he decide to instead try his luck in AEW All Elite Wrestling, or even Impact Wrestling as another option? Let us know. Now, as it had been revealed a while back, WWE Hall of Famer and former Universal Champion Bill Goldberg has one more match left on his current WWE contract. And while it is still unknown right now as to whether or not Goldberg plans to re-sign with WWE or extend his current contract, if this one match left on his current deal is in fact Goldberg's final in-ring appearance in WWE, most fans are now wondering who WWE are going to be having Goldberg face off against in his last WWE match. And with the new rumors and reports going around right now, it seems to be more clear when it comes to Vince McMahon's plans for Goldberg. According to a new behind-the-scenes rumor, as of right now, the current WWE champion Big E is reportedly strongly being favored behind the scenes to be Goldberg's last opponent in WWE, with reports indicating that the company could be setting up a WWE championship match between Goldberg and Big E early next year, possibly even at the 2022 Royal Rumble event. And taking into account the fact that Big E recently mentioned in an interview that he really wants to have a match against Goldberg, considering Goldberg's his childhood wrestling hero, and Big E feels he would be the right superstar to essentially retire Goldberg, this match is almost a guarantee at this point. And let us know if you like the sounds of a WWE Championship match between Big E and the returning Goldberg sometime next year in 2022. And if so, when should it happen? The Royal Rumble, or perhaps even WrestleMania 38? Let us know. While Roman Reigns got the clean win over the WWE Champion Big E at the 2021 Survivor Series pay-per-view event, with Roman Reigns not only getting that big win, but proving that he is the most dominant champion in the WWE right now, there is now a great amount of concern from fans regarding Roman Reigns' well-being on Friday Night SmackDown coming out of Survivor Series. Because as some of you had likely heard, at Survivor Series it was revealed that the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar's indefinite suspension has now been lifted, and this essentially means that Brock Lesnar will be coming back soon to wreak havoc on SmackDown, and get revenge against Roman Reigns, the Usos, and for sure Adam Pearce as well, who had rained down that harsh indefinite suspension on Brock Lesnar to begin with. According to a breaking new behind-the-scenes rumor, like we had touched upon in one of our previous videos, Vince McMahon is planning for Brock Lesnar to return on SmackDown in the coming weeks and essentially destroy Roman Reigns along with the Usos, with one report indicating that Brock Lesnar's upcoming ambush of Roman Reigns will lead to Reigns being written off of television until next year, because Roman Reigns has requested some time off from WWE for the holiday season. And as of right now, Brock Lesnar is being planned to basically take Roman Reigns out of action for the foreseeable future, with Roman Reigns likely to return in time for the 2022 Royal Rumble pay-per-view event.